Hey, watch fans, we're looking at the Rolex Thunderbird. That's right, the Turnograph. This is, I believe, a late 60s example in full yellow gold. Super crisp. Super crisp. Absolutely mint. You know, I really hate wearing this watch because it is in such minty perfect condition that it's almost, you know, I really don't want to take a chance. As you can see, one of the things you want to look out for in these watches is the bezel, to make sure that those kind of coin-like ridges, am I using the right term? Yeah, the little grooves, those little thin lines, those hairlines, are in absolutely perfect condition. Very hard to find that. And here's what's interesting. Prices on the vintage Turnographs have been heading up, even right now, while the watch market is dead, as we all know, floating face down in a backyard swimming pool. The Turnographs, those 70s, even 1980s examples, have been going up in value. So a two-tone model is now in kind of in the 4,500 range. For a two-tone example. That's for the head only. So that's, again, usually the earlier examples pretty much come just with a strap. You don't really find the bracelets anymore. And you know, quite frankly, the early Rolex bracelets are they're really kind of nasty. I'm not a fan of them at all. Again, I think this is, I believe, and again, I'm pretty confident in saying this is probably the best, the finest Turnograph example on the market today in full yellow gold in terms of condition. Now wait till I show you the back. The back is even better. Let me just do that right now as we speak. And as you can see, the back of the case, I mean, it is mint condition. So this watch has probably, I mean, I can't imagine it's been worn more than, I don't know how many times. Probably not too much, because again, look at the condition. You know, I think that the Turnograph is probably the most underrated Rolex on the market. What I like about them, quite frankly, is that, you know, it's a little bit of a stealth watch. It doesn't look like the Rolex. It doesn't have that typical Rolex bezel with the, you know, the high reflections. It's really only for the cognoscenti. That's right, the cognoscenti, not for the average riffraff. So this is kind of an under-the-radar watch. And what's amazing is this is really, you know, I think I've done a video on this before. It's really the first Rolex tool watch, right? So this is how the rotating bezel, this is how they got the Submariner. All the other stuff was based on this rotating bezel. And by the way, very practical in terms of timing. So if you want to know, if you want to time something like 15 minutes or whatever it is, you just move the slide this over, whatever it is, and as you can see, you know, okay, so that'll give you kind of, okay, here's the timing thing, 5 minutes. I mean, it's not going to be accurate to the second, not that, I don't know when somebody needs, you know, split-second accuracy, but yeah, so I'm a big fan of this. Also, you know, I have two of these. I have a Yachtmaster and I have a Submariner. The Yachtmaster, actually, which you've seen the videos on, is really the most practical watch. Turnograph's close second. Submariner, I'm not such a fan of. Wow, look at the crispness. Look at these beautiful markers there. It's really an incredible quality. So again, yeah, so all the everything, all the Rolex tool watches, the Submariner, the Yachtmaster, GMT, all that stuff, anything with a rotating bezel, it was all based as a result of this design. So this is the predecessor, this is the granddaddy of those other watches, and it's kind of fallen by the wayside. It's very interesting. And of course, as you guys all know, that you know, this watch was really the given to the U.S. So what is it? The Thunderbird. That's the what is it? Is that the Army? No, the Navy. No, the Air Force. What's, you know, the the pilots, the guys who do the you know, the aerial shows. The Blue Angels, is it? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Thunderbirds, whatever it is. Anyway, so they were given these watches back in the 50s or the 60s. You know, that was like their official watch. So I guess it has that military heritage. You know, not that those things really mean anything in reality, but it's really quite interesting that this Rolex, for whatever reason, the Turnographs, have never really caught on. I don't think they've ever been popular, ever. I mean, and I have a feeling that at some point these are going to take off. Now, I think it's starting to happen because the prices have been going up. I mean, you know, again, the two-tone models, some of the 70s examples from the 1970s, yeah, they're in the 4,500 range now. You could have gotten them a couple of years ago, $3,000. They were kind of giving them away. That's, again, head only, no bracelet. But still, you know, they're definitely holding on. They're increasing steadily in value, and I think at some point the market is kind of going to wake up to these as really a super high quality piece, because you know it is definitely different. It's like a Rolex. If you don't want to be seen as, you know, you don't want to be that Rolex guy. You know, it's kind of like every asshole has a Rolex. I mean, that's like the most you know, let's be candid. Rolex is like the most basic watch. It's almost like getting a BMW. Like any asshole can get a BMW, right? The Turnograph is you know, it's kind of for the cognoscenti. It's kind of like something a little different, and you know, nobody's ever gonna come up to you and ask you, hey man, is that a Rolex? Is that a real Rolex? Nobody will ever recognize what this is except for the real connoisseurs, the real aficionados. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. This is really kind of what it's all about. This is kind of what you got to look for. Very hard to find this condition bezel. Usually they're all kind of smoothed out, worn down. I don't know if you can see here. Let me zoom in here. Can you see this? There you go. There you go. Incredible. I got this watch from what is it? Eric Wind. Eric Wind, scholar and a gentleman, watch dealer. He sells some pretty good high quality watches. Very easy to deal with. Seems like an honest guy, you know, so which is more than you can say for, yeah, most of these characters in that game. Most of these a lot of those backpack, you know, the guys in the hoodies with the backpacks that you see on the YouTube channels. But yeah, I would say, look, this is one of these watches that I think you got to give probably time, a little bit of time, but I really do believe that these prices are probably going to double in the next, I would say easily 3 years. In the next 3 years, I could definitely see 3 to 5 years, maybe if you want to be conservative. 3 to 5 years, I believe the prices for the Turnographs are going to double. You know, they're not making these anymore, right? So that's another thing. These are have not been produced, I believe, since 2008 or 2009. They stopped making the Turnograph. So yeah, this is it's a little bit like what's the other one? The what's the watch that has the for the scientists, the what the hell is it called, with the orange arrow? I forgot what it's called, but anyway, or like the Polar Explorer. It's like one of those type of watches that is definitely should be on your radar. And that's it. All right, anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your nasty comments down below. Click the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in our next video.